Did you have a question, or are you good? Okay, thanks.
Okay, Lisa Ronchla with ABC6 here in Columbus. Before the speech today, some critics came out talking about your own personal record with China. Can you talk about any business ties you had previously with
Yes.
China, and saying that you were looking to expand your own business in China?
So I actually wrote about this in my first book. My first major company that I founded did have a Chinese subsidiary. And part of my experiences are guided by learning a lot more about how China actually works that has in part informed my views. So I think I've arrived at all of my political views through my own experiences, and my attitudes to China are no different. So that first business, we actually quietly exited China as my eyes were opened to the real risks of doing business there. And then when I started my next major business, Strive, which is actually based right here in Greater Columbus, we made a day one commitment that no asset manager has made, including the ones that we were competing against, that Strive would not do business in China, would not open an asset management business in China, and that's different from every major U.S. asset manager precisely because of my experiences. But part of what I say is also, even though I offered examples of U.S. CEOs and companies that have gone on to do business in China, listen to that speech, I was very careful not to bash them. I think the problem is the U.S. government, whose job it is to actually look after U.S. security interests. We can't rely on companies to do it. That's the job of a U.S. president. That's the role I'm running for. And that's why I'm able to say, in an unencumbered way, what many other people who are captured by business interests cannot. We have to declare economic independence from China.
Just a quick follow-up. When did you quietly leave from China, and how long were you there?
It was a pretty short-lived tenure in China. I don't have the exact dates handy, and it's been years since I was CEO of the company. But I was CEO of the company when we opened the Chinese subsidiary, and I was still involved with the company at the time that we quietly began to exit in a way that I don't believe, and you have to talk to the company because I haven't been involved in it, but I don't believe that the company has operations in China today. But Strive, the next company that I did start and lead, had a day one commitment that we would never do business in China. And I think that that's something that is unique. I came to because of my views, and I think it is because of my understanding of how China actually uses capitalism as a vehicle to accomplish its own goals and the restrictions that many U.S. businesses would face in China. It is partly that experience that allows me to speak much more openly about it now than most U.S. CEOs. And I think it's telling that even when U.S. CEOs were talking to lawmakers on Capitol Hill recently, they asked for confidentiality in a closed-door session. Why? Because they're scared of the CCP. That's wrong, and it will take a U.S. president with a spine to actually fix that. Thank you.